Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to a FrameCast that is supposed to be working now. Finally,
Is it? Is it really?
I guess. I
Are
think
you live stream?
people can see us. Can they
Who
not?
knows? I have no idea.
Hello, everyone. Can you see us? I think they can. I can see you. You can see me. I guess we got this. I guess we got this covered. Let me get the keyboard out of the way. Has it been a while? FrameCast 76. We're trying to do this number again. If you weren't here for last week, 2 weeks ago, for what is it? For the failed Framecast, where the computer died and everything else with it, our hopes and dreams died. This week will be better, hopefully. How's it going, Drew? I can see you this time in like more than 2 pixels. Discord do be having that higher resolution than Gilded.
The hilarity behind this, where you genuinely thought that I was trolling you, where I wasn't showing the webcam, and then people were like, "No, we can see the webcam," and you would go on your phone and everything. And, no, he's actually that. Yeah, so we were gonna start like I don't know about 5 minutes earlier than this, but I was hungry. I needed to eat my nom noms.
That's all right, man. Like, I mean, you can't do a podcast hungry. Speaking of doing a podcast, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, is there something exciting that's been going on in podcast land? What is going on? How has the first episode of the Kampai cast been received?
First, I think you mean second.
Hey.
Um, so actually, surprisingly well, it got over 50 views within the first 24 hours, which was a hell of a lot more than I was expecting. I was
Mhm.
expecting like 20. The second episode saw some drop off, which is to be expected. But again, still, it got like 40 within the first 24 hours. So, which is great. It's brilliant. We have a little technical issue with the I don't know if you've seen this. The Twitter account has been not disabled, but disabled, and we can't
Mhm.
make any tweets. So it's not been blocked or anything, but we can't make any tweets. We can't appeal the block. We can't do anything, and it's just like Twitter. What the hell? And I've got no contact details whatsoever to contact anyone and say like, can you please sort this out?
That is
So
so weird, and it does sound so fucking like Twitter and like modern day support systems. Like, remember when like websites had like a support team that you could send in an email or a ticket and they respond to you?
yeah, yeah. But the third episode is going out tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
at 9 a.m. Oh God, what's the name of the thing? 9 a.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. UK time,
Mm-hmm.
and mid-September we'll have a actual channel logo and banner and everything. So, but the sheer volume of crazy man that we've put into this. So, I just want to talk about it briefly.
Oh
But
yeah, go ahead.
so you use an Elgato deck in order
Yep,
to actually right. So,
this one right
um,
here.
I set up um the sort of like mobile phone equivalent called Deckboard.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to show you, but I can't. Um, and we set it up with a VPN, a
Mm-hmm.
private VPN between myself, Loz, and Nazareth, and all three of us are able to control what's on the screen,
Oh, that's pretty
right?
cool.
Yeah, it's a hell of a lot of work, but the problem is that there was so much admin behind it, right?
Mm-hmm.
By putting in all the extra anime shows and all, it was so convoluted, and we'd miss things, we'd get things wrong, and I spent 2 weeks and I put together a special script that hacks the Gibson. It breaks into the database of the application and rewrites all of the boards, all of the shortcuts, everything. And we tested it yesterday and it worked. And it was just like, oh my fucking God. Just makes life so much easier. So now, before we actually start recording, we actually re-roll what's on deck board, and we don't have to manually do it anymore.
Honestly, that sounds like the most programmer stuff in the world. Where it's like, oh hey, let's go and like make a custom like solution, which like is gonna make which is gonna make this like 10 times easier and is going to give us so much more possibilities. Oh wait, this is going to take like a month to like figure out, and oh my god, it's crashing, but no, it's going to work, and let's put all our effort.
Yep.
And like finally it will work, but
Yeah.
it like most of the time you're like, oh, it's going to be easy, and then you're working out, like you're spending more time working on your custom solution than like it would have been to like do it the straightforward way. But now being all able to control it is really cool.
Yeah.
So for those of you who haven't seen it yet, the Compacast Casino links it in the chat. It will be also be in like the YouTube thing description below, whatever. But like it is really cool because I haven't watched that many anime podcasts. Like I don't watch podcasts. I listen to more, but also not many like anime podcasts. And like one thing which I think that you guys hit very well is that what do you kind of show? Because like I know that when you started out with 10 o'clock, like your style was very much like, oh, we're showing Warframe gameplay, and a lot of times like the Warframe gameplay is of the era, and then if we're talking about something, it might relate to like what we're talking about, so you can have an idea. However, when it comes to anime, it's like, okay, so like what the heck are we like, how are you going to show without like being copy claimed to hell? Like you can't just show an entire series. So a lot of times people just like a lot of times, let's get back to that. A lot of times people just like sit and talk like we do right now, and I mean that's fine. But when you're talking about shows, especially like the first episode, they go over like all the all the seasonal shows. It's like you want to have some sort of reference. So what they have is they have like the background with like stills from like the shows, and then like you can see stills and be like, oh my god, that's so cool. But then from what kind of show is that? They actually have the bloody title on the screen, so you can be like, fuck yeah, they're talking about this. I wasn't paying attention when they said the title. Oh, it's on screen. Oh, let me go look it up. So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, we put the show title and the year up in the top left hand corner because we want to make sure people can actually find it. But like talking about copyright strikes, oh my lord. So in the first episode, we do little clips and we show off some clips and things. And like there was actually no, I'm going to talk about the second episode the most, right? In the second episode, we were talking about like what anime like really lived with us, sort of thing, in the good and the bad, sort of thing. And one of my bad ones, my only bad one actually, was Sword Art Online.
Oh,
and I made a clip for it and everything, and it got copyright struck. And it was you cannot not the so there's a couple of different copyright strikes. There's one which is you can't make any money off of this, and then there's another one which is you can't even air this, right? And the problem is that it's not a case of you can't air that segment of the. So if you've got 2 hours and only 1 minute is copyright, they don't block off that 1 minute. They block off the whole
the
2
whole
hours.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So so we actually test it before we're about to talk about it. We actually test the waters and see what we can and cannot talk about. And so we get our clips and we shove it up on YouTube on a separate channel to test to see if it's going to get like completely taken down. And sure enough, Sword Art Online, completely taken down. And I'm like, son of a bitch.
I had that too. Like, this is why I'm so afraid of showing trailers or anything like on stream or anywhere. Like, I had it once where someone was like recommending an anime or something. I was like, oh well, let's check out the trailer because, like, what's wrong with watching a trailer? Like, if anything, like you're sharing it out to the world, the thing that people want to see. And it got fucking the same thing, blocked. You can't show this on like anywhere. So like I had to blur it out and all that sort of stuff. So I don't touch that anymore. I do think it's funny with Sword Art Online. I think it's very like dated thing to like really not like it because I think it was a particular time in history when like that show was coming out and everyone like had good hopes that it was going to be great. It was very much hype, and you got into it. It was like, okay, this could be something. This is an interesting concept, and then it was like, oh my god.
The problem with Sword Art Online, right? The first season was really cool, right? So it's all up into halves sort of thing. So the first half of the first season, we'll just call that 1A, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing. It was phenomenal. And then the second part, 1B, is kind of meh, right?
Mm-hmm.
2A, so season 2, first half, really cool, though the main protagonist doing a little bit of lightsaber bullshit here.
Yeah.
But 2B was not to be confused with
Near Automata.
yeah. 2B was just trite. It was awful, right? Then we got on to the third season, right? So 3A, oh, we're getting good again. We're getting back to the quality of 1A, right? And then 3B, right? The second half of the third season. So fucking off. I never finished it.
Yeah.
It was so bad, right? It's one scene, and this like actually, I'm not going to talk. I'm not going to go check out the podcast. Second episode. Everything's timestamped, though
Hey.
the chaptering doesn't actually work. So you
Oh.
need to go into the description to find the timestamps. But yeah, I also automated that with the deckboard as well. So whenever you press a
Nice.
button, it actually records the timestamp somewhere.
Sweet.
Anyway.
So that's a little sneak peek of what the Kampai Cause is about. Go check it out if you're interested in an anime podcast. So let us get into our FrameCast. Whatever, like the FrameCast started out as a Warframe podcast, and now it is gaming media, whatever the fuck we feel like. So what do we have today? We have like a bunch of like little topics. Like the thing is, like a lot has happened, and like every single time, because like I know it's been a while since we've done one, I was like, oh my god, that's gonna be so cool to talk about. However, things that like we were gonna talk about like last time, like the entire Blizzard situation and all that other, like there's so much stuff that's happened. Like it's already like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and kind of like things have already moved on. So there's a couple of topics, and there's maybe also something that I like want to discuss a little bit, see if we can bring back like one of the good old discussion things where we like just randomly talk about a topic. But let's just see what we have time for. So first off, the topics that we have is Epic Games stealing the hit game Among Us with Fortnite Imposters. Oh boy, Epic at it again. Sometimes I really want to like them. Sometimes they give me so much reason not to. Then we have Discord backend changes lead to Discord.pi API wrapper being shut down, risking the loss of many Discord bots. Discord is changing things, and because of that, like very important like backend stuff for a lot of Discord bots is basically like no longer being supported. So if you're using Discord bots, which aren't like major bots, this is gonna be a bit of a problem. And then finally we have. Oh my god. We had like the juiciest topic of like last week, basically. I think it's still worth talking about OnlyFans banning porn off their site, and then unbanning it again because they're like, holy shit, that's their only source of income. I don't know what they were thinking, but we can talk about it. But before we get into that, let's talk about what games have you been playing recently? Say no. What have you been up to?
What have I been playing recently? Let's go have a look at. I've been trying to get back into Final Fantasy 14, but I can't get access to my account, and Square Enix have been utterly useless. I've played Dead Cells, Warframe. I tried to play a bit of Cyberpunk, but it wasn't playing as nice as I wanted it to. Monster Hunter World, and I did end up trying Back for Blood, the open beta, and honestly was not that impressed.
Oh. What was wrong with Back 4 Blood that didn't impress you so much? Because I hadn't installed it, I've not played it because like by the time I was like, oh, let me play it, was over. But like I've seen a couple of people be like moderately excited about like, oh yeah, this feels like Left 4 Dead. I know Mogamu and Skill Up were kind of like excited about it. But what do you feel of it?
Well, don't get me wrong, saying it's like Left 4 Dead, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is that it's just like Left 4 Dead. It's like there's nothing new. So one of the fundamental things I love about Warframe, and this is not me just stroking Warframe's proverbial, but I love the fact that the corridors all sort of like change shape and thing. The problem with Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood is that the environmental puzzles, they're static. They are always the same. You know, no matter where you go, what you do, you know, you do that one mission on that one bridge, you have to blow up the boat. No matter what, you have to blow up the boat. There's no like, oh, just abandon the boat, or the boat's already blown up beforehand, right? And that's what I don't like. It's just doing the same repetitive stuff over and over again.
No, I can definitely feel you on that. I've played my share of Left 4 Dead 2 mostly, and like I have to say it was fun the first time around playing for the story, and then a couple of times like playing it together with like friends, playing it through. At a certain point, it's like, yeah, I've done this, and it's like literally playing the same story again. Like the only thing that back then made it fun was that you could just like mop the shit out of it and just like throw whatever random characters in it, throw whatever random sound effects, so the entire game just became a chaos and was like, yeah, but that was fun. But that was also before a time when you say like games like Warframe were there, games like whatever is out right now. Like I feel there's so like right now, like we went back to Left 4 Dead 2 a couple of months ago when we did like the stream with Hydroxide and Massive,
Yeah.
and I was like, this is fun, but like I remember it more fondly, and this doesn't really live up as much as like it did before, because as you say, it's like it's the same stuff, and like once you like really know everything about it, it's not really gonna change.
Yep.
So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. You said that you went back to Cyberpunk. I recently decided to like update my Cyberpunk. There was like a 30 GB update. So ever since like someone told me that like, oh, you can wall run, or like you were supposed to be able to wall run in Cyberpunk or something, or you can have a pet cat but you can't pet the pet. I'm like, why the fuck would you add a cat in the game but you can't pet it or whatever? So I was like, I kind of want to see what's like 9 months later. But did they add anything new, or did you just want to like go back to it, play through it, or?
So I tried to start again from scratch,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I went the syndicate route, but it was so choppy in the frame rate. I was just like, why is this? Why is it this way? I don't understand. So, I pretty much slammed the brakes on that straight away, and I don't know. I need to wait for like a weekend. Like September's not a good month for me in free time. So I
Mm-hmm.
need to wait for a weekend before I can actually sort of like properly sink my teeth in.
I can see that. Well, hopefully it will be better by then. But then again, it's like it's been 9 months. I do feel like, oh my god, Cyberpunk was hyped up so much, and I
Yeah.
was like, I 100% expected that it would just be it's a single player story game. People are gonna play it, then people are gonna be done with it. But it was so insane to see like how long that hype had been built. Like it was carried over. It was carried through like multiple like years. It wasn't like just one event. People just kept on talking about Cyberpunk coming out, Cyberpunk coming out, and then it's out, and it was just like that one moment of disappointment. Like, oh my god, this is really not stable. Then oh, it's kind of fun, and then like nothing. Like they're still
Yeah.
updating, they're still doing it, but it doesn't really seem like anyone cares.
No, I kind of agree with you, though. Personally, I am happy with the investment that I put into the game.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to play it again, and hopefully sometime soon, I'll be able to do so.
Mm-hmm. No, like I had a really great time with it too. I mean, obviously there were things that like were bugged, but honestly, like there was a time like when I was close to finishing it, and I was like, oh wait, these cars jumping up into the sky, that's not supposed to happen. Oh shit. It just
So,
become completely normalized for me, and I was like, oh, hold on, yeah. I thought I was not seeing the bugs, but they just gotten normal for me, I guess.
but, but what have you been playing?
So last week I was actually like away on vacation, so I was not able to play anything much. Then I came back. I've done a bit of Apex because I still think it's like a fun game to play, and I've gotten like really slow with like my movement and stuff. It's like it's so strange if you like haven't played for like a week. It's like the muscle memory is kind of a little bit gone. You're like, oh shit, and then you feel yourself being so slow. So that's what I've been up to before that. I mean, I don't know if we talked last time about Mass Effect. Have you played the Mass Effect series?
No. Well, I kind of started playing the first one. Oh God, how long ago? I'm trying to think. How long ago did I start playing the? I don't think it was immediately after the first one came out. I think it was like on some cheap deal during a Steam Christmas sale or something. I played it a bit, and I'm like, I barely got into it, and I just basically saw the whole, oh, I have to somehow RPG the fuck out of these weapons. Do you know what's not interesting to me? RPG gun, well, RPG role play weapons like guns and
Oh
things.
yeah.
I just it doesn't appeal to me.
No, I can see that. Like, I decided this summer, because I had a bit of time, I decided, you know what, let me go and play for the Mass Effect series, because I played Andromeda, and I thought Andromeda was fun, but I played that, like, that was my first game after Warframe, and before that I'd never played anything the like, so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Now I was like, let me put it in context, because, like, they had the remake that came out this year, and now they're, like, moving to a fourth game. And when I started that first game, oh boy, that was rough. I was just playing the original version, and as you say, the gunplay is. I played it, like, I opened it up one day and I was playing for it. I was like, can I really do this? Because, like, this is a long game, but can I really do this? Because, like, it's old. It is really old by, like, modern day standards. Like, the gunplay is, like, you can't even aim really. Like, it's, That said, I continue playing, and, like, one thing which really stuck with me is, like, the way that they built their universe in, like, the first game. It really feels like there's something that, like, there's a lot going on, where it's like, this feels like it's been well thought out. This feels like it has already existed. Like, I can't imagine what it must have been like, especially at the time when this thing came out, where it's like, you know, this brand new franchise putting forth, like, so many different species, so many, like such an interesting situation, where it's like a lot of things are thought out, like the way that certain species behave, like the way their history is formed. Like, there's a lot behind it. I liked it, but, like, the first game was kind of like, okay, well, that was an enjoyable experience, had a fun time. I generally like these games where you, like, speak a lot with people, your choices matter, and yeah, I was right. Then I started playing Mass Effect 2, and oh boy, I started loving that. Because basically what you have in, like, Mass Effect 1, not really going to get into spoiler territory, but basically what you have is you have this story, which is kind of like a standard story, like, oh, something's wrong, we need to go and defeat someone. Oh boy, let's go and gather a crew and then defeat someone. Oh, we may end up defeating him or not, but I mean, like, if you know any story, you probably know what's gonna happen. However, then you go into, like, the second game, and, like, they do a very brilliant way in, like having you, like, you know, you're this character that's, like, fully leveled up, has his entire crew, his entire ship. Like, how do you, like, start a new game again where basically, like, they want to have the same thing again, where you have to build everything up again? Like, they do a very clever way where they, like, reason why things happen. It's like, it's so well done, where it's like, oh shit, now I really want to get back into it. And the character writing, like, they bring some characters back from the previous game, and they bring them back in a way that makes you appreciate them so much more. Like, I had, like, a side character, Garrus was his name. And, like, he joined us, like, he joined your crew, like, somewhat at the beginning. He's like a military commander or something, and he's like, oh yeah, I want to explore, like I want to join you because I want to, like, fight for justice, and I don't want to be stuck in bureaucracy. And, like, he's alright, but then, like, in the second game you meet him again, and, like, in such a way that's, like, he just became my, like, second-hand man. Like he became my, like, my Zoro to my Luffy. He was like, oh man, I loved him. I fucking loved him. So that was a really great experience. Like, the way that characters are displayed with complex problems is amazing. And then the third game comes along, and it just shits and pisses all over that. And that game is horrible. I played 30 minutes of it. I will never play a single other minute. I don't like that.
Interesting. I didn't hear people have that much of an issue with the third one. I thought people mostly had an issue with the third one based on the... Oh, crap. What's it called? The ending.
I have a big issue with the beginning. But that okay. Okay. So, like, I'm wondering, should I talk about this, because, like, it's a little bit, like, spoilery.
Well, I mean, we've already got other topics to talk about. Should we not?
Yeah. Okay.
And
let's get into the topics. Let's see. Let's go with, like, the very first one. Actually, let's go with, like, the Discord one, because I think that will be somewhat fun to talk about. So basically, Discord backend changes lead to Discord.pi API wrapper being shut down, risking the loss of many Discord bots. So this is something I came across, which, like, initially I didn't really know what it meant. It just said, like, oh, some sort of, like, Discord Python library is being discontinued. yada yada yada. I was like, okay, whatever, who cares? But like basically, like it's a very interesting story. So basically, Discord.py was an API wrapper for Discord, which allowed mostly independent developers of Discord bots to interact with Discord. So basically, like an API is basically allows you to like write a program and have that program interact with like another program or another system. So like YouTube has an API, Twitch has an API, Discord they have an API, so that you can have your bot do something. Drew knows a lot about this, so I'm sure that if I say something which is incredibly wrong, he's going to be like, "Whoa!" And you're more than welcome to. But yeah, basically, like this like wrapper has been used pretty much by like most of the like Python based bots that people made for Discord out there, because it was created by a guy named Danny. Like he made a blog post about it, like he's shutting it down, and like pretty much like this is a very much like a grassroots thing where like he just says like, yeah, I'm not even a programmer really. I just work at a hospital. I just make programs for fun. And like back in 2015, when someone showed me Discord, I was like, well, why don't I like make a bot for it? And then like there was no official API there, so he was like, let me just go and try and reverse engineer it. And ever since then, like they formed a little group with other volunteers that are like trying to reverse engineer Discord's API and like make different libraries for like different programming languages so that people can like go and make their own bots that can interact with Discord. Now the thing is, the reason why he's shutting down is because basically when they started out, he said that like Discord had like good support for us, where they were like they're making a blog post where it's like, oh yeah, these libraries are so cool, now everyone can make bots for Discord. Like it became like the official unofficial like API that Discord was kind of promoting, while they were working in the back for like their upcoming like official API, which will be coming around in 2016. However, like over in the period he describes between 2016 to like 2020, around that time, like nothing really happened until like Discord kind of like turned themselves to like the big bot developers. Like I think Me6 would be one of those bigger ones. I think that's like, I don't know, but I reckon that is one of like the biggest bots that I know in Discord. But like they basically like Discord then turned to like the bigger bots, and then they were like, well, we think that these user bots are a bit of a problem. Because like it's a bit of a security issue if anyone can just create their own bot. So what we want to do is we want to introduce something which is called privileged intents. The way to understand this is that what you have is like if you like want to have your bot like communicate with Discord, like basically like your bot would like send something, like retrieve some information, and the information that it would retrieve in Discord's case would just be like a lot. And then you would have to like figure out like, okay, so like I'm asking for like list A, like I ask something, I get like list like A to M, I get that back, but I'm only looking for like B. That's the only thing that I need. What's under like tab B, that's the only thing I need. And privilege intents basically allows like the bots to get only like, I need the thing that's about music, can I get this thing about music? Or I need this thing about this thing, can I get that thing? And that just like severely like limits like that's way more efficient on like computational efforts than like if you have to like grab everything and then sort out and figure out the one thing that you need. So
sorry to jump in.
Go ahead.
Like the big crux of the whole argument is that originally Discord's API, you know, everything you said about the API is, spot on. It was originally reverse engineered. People sort of like hacked the Gibson, if you know what that means, and they were able to gain access to various different things. People do use this as a method of faking their accounts. So a lot of content creators do this, some of which I know, and what Discord are doing is they're restructuring how the API works, which effectively means that the old method of interaction no longer works. And it requires the developers to go away and rewrite their code.
Yep.
Discord's not the only thing that's ever done this. Twitter did this recently. They shut down their old I say recently, within the last year, they shut down their old 1.0 library, which meant I had to upgrade everything to 1.1. And just like this instance, the library I was using hadn't been updated in like a year and a half. It was like 18 months. So I had to go into the library myself, make the modifications I needed, and just push it and just start using it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is that a lot of developers, they are very heavily trained to utilize someone else's wheel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Someone else's package, someone else's library. And look at GitHub. Like, there are so many packages and libraries on GitHub that have been abandoned,
Mm-hmm.
right? For months. If like the whole problem I was describing with Deckboard, that hasn't seen any development for the last 13 months, right?
Wow.
That's why I had to hack it myself,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because it was the only way to make sure that it was. Otherwise, we'd have to look for another app to use. And this is the problem that a lot of these Python-based Discord bots are facing, right? So similarly, the Tiamat that I use, right, that interacts with Discord, but I built the library for it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So if anything goes wrong, I can fix it. The problem with, but there was one PHP library that was made to interact with Discord, right? And if that PHP library is not up to date, I'd be entirely fucked,
Mm-hmm.
right? That's why I personally prefer to make my own wheel. A lot of developers do not agree with that sentiment, and I completely respect them for it. But I avoid using other people's wheels because of this problem.
No, I can fully understand that because like I think like the big mods that like most servers use are going to be okay, but like there's going to be so many things that people have made like people like you, like you've made Tiamat but you've built that yourself, but there's going to be so many
Yeah.
people that will have built something similar but then just like use these libraries that were available, which like again, like it's something which is very much like just like, if there's a library out there, use it because someone made it, like you can
Yeah.
use it. However, what like very much stood out to me was that it was such an interesting read because there's an entire blog post where this guy describes where like he's been working on this for 5 years to like keep it up to date, him by himself with like the people around him, but he's never accepted any donations for it. He just did it in his free time, and he said that like the reason I'm just quitting now is like because I got to rewrite everything right now.
Yeah.
Like they're doing this thing where like if you want to have like these privileged intents, if you want to have that in more than 100 servers, you need to like sign up for a validation program where you need to like upload your government ID and stuff to like validate, to like have your bot be like a real. And he's like first of all, I don't think that's necessary, and like second of all, like we like at first like Discord was like putting blog posts up about us, and we're like the Discord employees would be like in our Discord server to like talk about us, like what was going on with the API and stuff, the things that we were making, and then all of a sudden like they just like didn't speak to us, and then all of a sudden it was just like only the big bots that are like in 100,000 plus servers, they would be spoken to and they would be getting these new updates, and we would just be left by the wayside. And then we got like they got some sort of meeting where they're like, it's still under the NDA but we're not hopeful about it, so I just lost all my motivation and I'm not going to go through with doing this anymore. So if someone wants to like fork this thing and like I'll build it out and like go on with it, you can, because it's open source, like go ahead, be my guest. But it just kind of like make me sad to see where it was like, you have or like a group of people that are like super dedicated to like building something cool for like this platform, but then like the platform grows, and it's like it just makes me really sad to see like people that were so passionate about that and then just like lose that motivation and then have this happen, just because I don't know, like the company grew too big. I have no idea.
It's the sad truth is that this is common. This is so common. I've worked with projects where people do this. God, I don't know how much I can talk about this. So one of the biggest concerns when it comes to these packages is cryptocurrency farming.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, if you have a high stakes website, sometimes developers will sneakily put into their code a cryptocurrency um, generator,
Wow.
right? That will run in the background of your server. So when someone visits your website, you are partly generating a cryptocurrency coin, and that money is going to the person that created that package, that library.
Wow. That is shady.
And yeah, it really is shady. Now, this is why a lot of browsers these days, like Opera, I'm pretty sure Chrome has it, and probably Firefox, they have these anti-cryptocurrency mining, I don't want to say algorithms, but features that notice on a website whether or not it's trying to do any cryptocurrency farming, and then it just flat out stops it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But a large part of the problem is that when the package managers discover this, so a large one is Node Package Manager, or NPM. If that discovers that the package that you are using, not that you made, but that you're using, has cryptocurrency mining in it, they will boot it off. But all the functionalities and things that you were using, right, that's gone with it, right? So all of a sudden, you have to rewrite your code in order to actually get the thing working properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it is such a, like, if you might not be the original developer, you might have taken this on not only from the previous person, but the previous person was the one that actually wrote it. And, we had a situation very similar to this. And we're like, what the fuck do we even do? We can't rewrite this. We have no idea what the fuck is wrong. It's like trying to diagnose the problem with a car and you've never seen a car before in your life.
Yeah. Oh boy. Like the cryptocurrency stuff is crazy. Like I read somewhere just a headline. I didn't really look into it too much, but it was like there was like a new a new thing that people are trying to do with like Linux systems, where like they're gonna try and like infect your system, where they speed up your system and then install a program that like that will do cryptocurrency mining. It's like it's become such a like thing where like people are trying to like mine in every single situation. I do hope that we are gonna see better GPU prices though, because like this mining stuff has been going on for so goddamn long.
Sorry, that not that sounds like bollocks, but that sounds like bollocks. How can you speed up the system?
Here, let me see if I can find it.
Like, I can appreciate utilizing 100%. How the fuck could you overclock it in software? Well, I mean, your motherboard would have to support it.
Mm-hmm.
But then, could you interact with your motherboard from your operating system?
Let's see, where
Typically, flashing has to be done separately.
Trying to find it. Let's see. Meanwhile, let's see. Bing, bada, boom. It's been a while since I saw that come by and was like, what the heck does that even mean? Meanwhile, did you hear about that thing in China where basically like minors are no longer allowed to game more than 3 hours a week?
Sorry, did you say gain or gain?
Play games, play video games.
They can't. What? No, what? No, really? What?
Yeah. So.
Oh wait. Minors and children.
Yeah, children are no longer allowed. People under 18 are only allowed to play 1 hour on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And after that, they cannot play a game anymore because you gotta like make accounts of like your government ID and they track it. Like they even have like I recently read on like mobile phones, they'll have like facial scanning security to make sure that like while you're playing, it's actually you that is playing. And if you are a minor and you're not allowed to play by the government rules, then the game should shut down.
What? So if you're over a certain age, does that not apply to you, or is it just?
Yeah, it's just to like protect the youth, I guess. Like that's kind of their idea, where it's like, oh yeah, we gotta protect the children from the scary games, and I guess like
I mean, surely the parents should have more say in that
it's
than
China.
the government. I mean, that's kind of sus. But anyway, one thing I will say, and then I think we should move on to the next
Hmm.
topic. So everyone may or may not know of Docker. So you know of Docker, yes?
How again?
Doc Docker is this platform that's supposed to be used for hosting servers, like
Oh
really
yeah.
lickety split fast and super cool, and it's super free and it's super easy. They've decided that if you're running it for a company, you have to pay. Of course,
Yeah.
fucking of course, right? And um, like I'm just like, oh, do you know what's really cool? I didn't set up any of our servers to run fucking Docker. There you go. Good
Nice.
job, me.
Oh man, like it is such a like 2010 strat, or like I mean I guess they're still doing it now, where it's like you go out and launch your servers and you're gonna make it like free, and it's gonna be something amazing, but it's gonna be free and you're not gonna make any money for the first 10 years, and you hope Google buys it, and then when Google doesn't
Uh,
buy it, it's like okay, fuck it, now you guys gonna have to pay, and then everyone's gonna be up in arms because they're like, oh, we have to pay now. It's like, well, it's a free servers. You should have probably known that like not everything is free, and you probably should have seen this coming. It's still a weird business strat, though.
you know for a fact that if Sony didn't get in bed with God, Discord, Discord would turn around and say like, "We need you to pay."
Mm-hmm.
No, but we need you to pay. No, but we need you to pay. No.
Yeah, then people would go over to Guilded or something, which, like, again, in quality, it's still not quite there yet. Speaking of quality that is no longer there and it's going down fast, quitting it quitting at like the absolute peak of your performance. What if I told you, Drew, that you could have a platform for yourself that you could own that would have over 130 million users registered to it, that had seen a 75% increase of people over the last year on your platform, and you would be taking from all those people a 20% cut from everything that they spent on that platform. What would you do? Would you A, continue just what you're doing, B, expand opportunities for the people that make you money, or C, ban the content that makes your platform your platform? What would you do?
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I should get an OnlyFans. But regardless of that, but no, I think it's stupid. It's what were they fucking thinking? I mean, like the whole reason why all these, you know, adult content, like all these women, men, whoever, the reason why they were doing this was because Patreon kicked them off.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh yeah, now that we have a hefty amount of cash, like, just fucking we're well, I don't want to say we're all adults, right? But come on, it's just the human body. It's not the end of the fucking world. Right? It's
Well,
like
it's there is multiple things to it, because like I would say too, like you see that with a lot of things on YouTube being banned, where it's like there are videos which are, in my opinion, like perfectly fine, like perfectly fine to even put behind an age restriction if you want to, like I'm thinking about like Filthy Frank or Max Mofo videos where they were making like cake with hair and stuff, which like honestly wasn't everyone's vibe, and I can 100% get it, but like it's not harming anyone. It wasn't insulting to anyone. It's like people just doing like gross weird shit for like the idea of like shock comedy, and it's like that had to be banned, and it's like that's the same thing where it's like, hey, maybe people with naked bodies interacting with each other may not be your thing. Well, doesn't hurt anybody.
yeah. Don't fucking thing. Just fucking leave it alone.
Yeah, but For those of you who aren't aware, last week OnlyFans became big news as it announced that it would be banning pornographic material from its site. As the site is just pretty much only known as the way for people to support adult content creators. This was pretty upsetting for like many of its creators, as the change would set in like pretty much a month in like August 1st. So yeah, like OnlyFans like they got like a lot of shit for it. Like a couple days later, they were like, "Oh no, sorry, we didn't mean to." However, there's been a huge increase in like competitors that are out there where people have signed up because basically, like your entire financial stability is just gone because now you see that the platform is just like, well, in a month we could just ban you of this, and it fucking sucks. That said, it has been rumored, and this is what I think that may have gone on, but again, it's so weird with OnlyFans, like the way they very quickly turn it around. Like that, this might be weird. Maybe this is not the case, but like it has been rumored that like payment processors may have been influencing this decision because like last year, I think last year or a couple months ago, Pornhub like removed like 90% of the content, like every single like user generated thing that was put on there they had to delete, which was over 10 million videos, because I think MasterCard or something was like, we are no longer gonna like, you can no longer use us to like get money to process payments if you don't delete all of that, because we don't support that. And
Just to clarify, I'm pretty sure that was because suspected child pornography.
yeah,
Right.
but that's why they
When
deleted all of the user generated content.
they didn't delete it, they didn't delete it all. I heard from a friend.
But
Um,
apparently, so like the thing that they did, they deleted the user generated content except for verified people that were like officially like, and that was just like a very small like portion, like maybe it was a large part of the thing.
yes, yeah. I think if you weren't verified, you were definitely gone.
Hmm.
Right. But I do know that some videos, I was told, I read it somewhere,
Yeah.
it was written on the bathroom wall,
Hmm.
that some videos where it it was themed around like inappropriate activities, that stuff was also removed, even though the participants were not in that situation in the slightest,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's yeah. So to be honest, that doesn't surprise me when companies like MasterCard or whoever do decide to, yeah, we're just gonna pull the plug on this
Yeah. I mean, like
because people like it.
that is something which like if that's the case with OnlyFans, like that's a bit upsetting. I mean, the thing is weird because if that was the case, then how could they reverse this decision? Like that is so weird. If they force their hand to like, now you got to ban it all, and then they like, a couple of days they can turn it around, like that is weird. But the thing does worry me to a degree because like to me a payment processor is just like, I want to put money somewhere, and like normally I would just like hand the cash, but I can't hand the cash, so like you just literally just like make sure that like you take my money and you give it to the other person. You don't do anything else, you know. That's what you do. You don't be there like, is that smart? No, it's my decision. That's what I want to do. But like it's this really weird thing where like now they're trying to kind of like be, or like we don't know, but like it seems like they're trying to be like the moral police as to like what they will allow and don't allow, and like it's literally money that speaks. Because if you don't have a payment processor, like even if people want to throw you money, they cannot. And like that is something which I do think is like kind of weird, especially when like it really hinges on like a certain type of content where it's like, hey, you know, maybe it's not for everyone, but I do think it's for a lot of people that people just and like enjoy going to OnlyFans and subscribing to like a person's content because you know it's perfectly fine content to watch as long as it's legal. Um, However, like it will be really worrisome if this is something that would continue on where like even if like OnlyFans goes down right now, which it might very well do because like people don't really trust it anymore. But like, what if like the next platform, the next OnlyFans, again gets hit with this thing, and then people have to migrate and migrate and migrate? Like that doesn't really seem like a desirable situation, especially when it comes to like the security of like the people that make that type of content. Like you'd want them to be like as secure as possible, have a good platform that they can rely on, because this would just be like crazy. And, like people would have to like go like through shady ways again to like, you know, do what they do their job.
This is unfortunately the current status quo, though. Look at Twitch, look at YouTube, look at Mixer, look at
Mm-hmm.
Facebook Gaming. I don't even know if Facebook Gaming is still a thing. I assume it is.
Mm-hmm.
right? I've not heard of it for God knows how long. Look at Patreon, look at Subscribestar, look at, and it's hilarious how Subscribestar was being oppressed by the, oh God, the payment gateways.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, for the fuck's sake, like, I don't understand what payment gateway. It is money. Do you not want money?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Oh, but we don't like the fact that our brand is all over it. Then don't put it on there.
Yeah.
Like, just fucking put a thing up saying like, oh, if your content is in
Mm-hmm.
this category, right? Well, we take more of a cut, but you don't, you can't put our branding on it. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, just give people options. Don't fucking dictate shit.
Well, like that is something where we were talking about mining and stuff. That's something where people, like a lot of people, then say like crypto is the answer because with crypto, like there is no payment processor. Like you can just like there is not this middleman. And where I'm like, I can see that. And like if we get to a point where like they're literally like, hey, you can't like you can't pay to someone's Patreon if they do like gaming content that has guns because we just decided that we don't like guns in games. So like if they start like doing petty shit like that, which I already feel that like if they have a hand in OnlyFans, like I think that's very petty, like going after like people that are trying to make their living via creating online adult content. Like at that point in time, I can see like yeah, like if I want to give someone money, it's only my business who I want to give that people money, and I don't need some sort of like random company to be like, no, we don't do that. It's like that's not for you to decide. However, on the other hand, I still think that crypto, it's weird as fuck, man. It's not my thing yet.
The biggest problem and concern with cryptocurrency platforms is the fact that trying hard to think of the correct terminology here. It's too heavily influenced by
Elon Musk.
well, I mean that's a perfect example. Like when one individual says that, like hell, China turns around and says we're no longer trading in Bitcoin. Bitcoin just fucking shit its pants.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like it just drops massively. Yes, it will always creep up. And yes, I think it will be a legitimate method of payment, but I always feel with cryptocurrencies that they are so heavily influenced by some dickhead on Twitter that they're a fucking gob, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, when was the last thing Elon Musk said that negatively impacted the value of the dollar, right?
Yeah. I
But
can't remember.
the second he says like, "Oh yeah, Tesla's not going to trade in Bitcoin," right?
I think the big difference is that like right now crypto is like hugely like it's not really something, it's just something that people attach value to, and like it has as much value as people believe it has, and like people could say yeah, that's the same with like the dollar, right, or like any other currency that isn't a cryptocurrency. However, the difference is that right now I can like take my euro bills and I can walk to a store and gift that to a person and then get something in return. I can technically do that with Bitcoin as well. I see that, but I can't do that in like every single store I go to. It's like every single time, like, or like, I think the most common thing that people do is like they go into a crypto, they watch it rise, then they extract it, like they convert it back to dollars, and then they go buy something. So it's more like a stock with like nothing behind it, rather than that it is an actual currency. And I think like what might need to happen is that like, it actually needs to be accepted as a currency. But it's like, hey, I can actually pay with a Bitcoin in this store that I go to, and that I don't first need to convert it to like my local currency. Because like then you'll have some stability, because like you don't really want to have like a piece of bread be like 0.0001 Bitcoin one day, and then 0.5 Bitcoin the other day, and then 10 Bitcoin the other day, and 0.001. Like you can't really have that fluctuation. Like you kind of want to have some stability, especially if it's widely used. But right now it's still so all over the place that I'm like, it's not something that I would use for like ongoing payments, and I also wouldn't like to receive payments in it. Like, can you imagine that you'd be paid out in in Bitcoin, for example. Like, I mean, don't imagine that you get like one Bitcoin like 10 years ago and now it's worth $60,000. But just imagine you get a like 0.5 of a Bitcoin or whatever, or like a small amount that equates to about $20. And then like Elon Musk tweets something, and the $20 you got in your Patreon or whatever, that just went to like $5 because Elon Musk tweeted something. Like, that's something I
Yeah.
wouldn't quite like.
No, exactly. Yeah, and that's the biggest concerning thing when it comes to cryptocurrency. So I don't think crypto. Yeah, I think we've hit ahead with every part of this.
Mm-hmm. Pixel says, to be fair, the volatility is exactly what makes it profitable, as long as you extracted it. Like, I feel like it's profitable as long as you step in and then you step out. And that is what doesn't really make it a currency, because it, like, when was the last time that you were like, oh, I'm gonna, buy $1 and then hold on to the dollar and then sell it for like another thing, like
when it's $2,
then it's $2.
The big thing with cryptocurrency platforms is that you have to keep on putting money into cryptocurrency. You can't just buy like $100 worth of Bitcoin and then in 50 years time, you now have a gajillion dollars of Bitcoin. You have to keep on feeding it on a month by month basis to make it worthwhile.
Well, what I think is also okay is like one thing that Pixel says, like, look at what happened when us filthy lower class men tried to benefit from market volatility with GameStonk's Joker quote and everyone loses their minds. Crypto is unregulated in that way, but like I can see that that like, especially GME, and like we had these meme stocks that all of a sudden went up big time. Yeah, Dogecoin all of a sudden went up big time, and I think that was what has kind of happened. Is that like a lot of people now look at stocks in a way, or like stocks, or like or crypto in a way to like get rich quick, and not necessarily because they want to like do a get rich quick scheme, but because, well, first of all, we've had like 2 years of like COVID, where people have been like locked down in their home, and like especially like if you're of the younger generation, it's like if you are in like college, if you're like studying, if you're trying to find work, it's a really tough time to try and get there. And at the same time, like, I think also what plays a big part is like, look at how high the housing prices have gone up. Like, it is insane all around the world. Like, literally, like, I read an article somewhere like a couple of months ago. Like, it was like all over the world, from like Sydney to like Canada to like the United States to like the UK. It's like literally everywhere. It was like housing prices like rising up so much that it's like, I can very well imagine that some people may be sitting there like, hey, I'm here, I'm in a lockdown, I can't really go out to like get a job, even if I want to get a job. Like, I mean, like right now, like there's more job openings because things are opening up again, but like before it was like you couldn't, like debts and like things are like prices are like super high. How the hell am I going to ever have a future? What if I, use the money that I have, I just put it in a meme stock, just see it go up, and boom, oh shit, it just risen to like a couple $1,000s. Let me do that again, because like that is the only like future I will have. If I like get a lot of money now, then I'll be able to like live comfortably in the future. And I think that a lot of people are doing that right now, and because of the power of the internet, like because you can see instantly in real time like what is going up right now and what's going down right now and what everyone is saying on like Wall Street bets, like I feel like that's something which really fueled right now. But honestly, like I think it's kind of sad, because it's like there is a couple of people that are really profiting, but you also see people that lose like 500K, that put their entire like life savings into like GME when it was at 300 just before it crashed down. And that is something where I'm like, I don't know, like I think yes, there is like something to be celebrated when like GME rises above, and like the people that bought in at $5 now all of a sudden are like millionaires and stuff. Like that's pretty cool. But like I also think that there's like an untold tragic story behind there, where it's like it's kind of like people that don't really see much hope for the future, where they're like, well, fuck it, let me just YOLO it on here and see what happens, because why not?
Yeah, I mean, I think a large part of the problem with cryptocurrencies or just stocks in general, it's very much a method of convincing lower level people, like, I mean, hell, there was the whole thing with shit. What was it? Sam I no, was it?
Oh, there were a bunch
Oh,
of like
Sam
YouTubers and stuff
Pepper.
pushing like some sort of like fake coin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're all pushing their own cryptocurrency, and then they shorted it. Was it? No, they didn't short it. Sorry, I got that wrong. So yeah, they pushed their fake cryptocurrency. People invested in it. Then they immediately sold out,
Mm-hmm.
tanking the value of it because all of a sudden there was all this excess coin, and all they made was like 60 grand or something like this. It was for such a, and there was like 10 of them, right? So that
Mm-hmm.
they had to split this, and it was like, what the fuck? You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, it was such a
Yeah, no,
get rich,
but
yeah.
yeah, like you see so many people come up with their own coin now and then trying to market it like, oh my god, it's fantastic. Like I think there was recently, I don't know by who I watched a video about it, but like I think there's like the the standard YouTubers you'd expect it from, so like the Paul brothers and stuff, like these people
Yeah.
that don't really have their morals entirely screwed on correctly as far as it seems. They were like pushing some sort of like random like shit coin. They were gonna be like, oh, it's fantastic, you should invest in it, and then like the moment that people invest in it, they just like dump it and like make money and or something like that.
Yeah.
um but yeah, no, Spiffing Brit was about viral marketing. He never actually made the coin, just told people to talk about it. Yeah, so like, Spiffing Brit talked about like making a currency like that, but he actually didn't go through with it. There are YouTubers that actually have done it and have sold it to their audience to like sell it and make a profit of it, which is like absolutely insane. Speaking of something which is absolutely insane, do you know of the YouTuber Coral Yobs?
No.
He's like, he does like Minecraft speedrunning stuff. I never watched him until like there was this dream situation thing. Did you hear about like the dream cheating scandal last year?
No.
So last year, there's this YouTuber called Dream. Do you know Dream?
No.
Me neither. But apparently he's got like more than 20 million subscribers or something. Like he's one of the biggest YouTubers that does like Minecraft stuff, and like people have like standing for him insane to insane degrees. But like he did a speed run on in Minecraft, and he got like a fifth place time or something. Like he got a pretty high score time. I don't think it was a world record or something. However, like he got like insane luck that like people started to look into it, and they spent like what was it, like months like investigating this, and then they came out with an entire like probability report about like how the probability that he got was like it didn't make sense. This was like insane. He must have cheated because you cannot get this amount of luck, like the way that like like you have to do trades, and there's a certain percentage of like the chance to for like something to spawn. Like you would trade gold for like ender pearls or something, and then like there's a certain percent chance for like the ender pearls to spawn, and he made very few trades and he got everything. It was like that's insane. That can't be. And then when that report came out, the report came out with like a pretty long like video from like the people that like looked into it, and was very well done. It was very
No.
much like we looked into like a lot of things. We gave him so much leeway, but like the chances of running a run like this was like one in like so 100 million or billion. Like it was an insanely low chance that he would have that thing like in a like normal game. And then he
Yeah.
responded saying like, there's no way I cheated, that's impossible. He hired like a Harvard scientist or something to like respond with a paper. That paper came then back. That was really cool because like you had like the Minecraft game, like they were making academic papers back and forth about like how the
Yeah.
probability was like wrong. And however that paper got like entirely debunked. And then like months later he came around and he said, yeah, so like what kind of happened is like I was running a game, and that game had a mod installed on it. I did not know about that. So like yes, it was a cheat. I did not know about that, and that's why I responded so harsh against it. But anyway, like it was an entire situation. There was like this one YouTuber was like Coral Yobs, and like his channel is fantastic.
Yeah.
He is like a very like I think he's from Scandinavia, and he really has that like Scandinavian like seriousness to him, where he's like he like there are people that are making like drama videos like oh this and that, and he is just sitting there like hey, I come from the speedrunning world, and I'm actually just interested in like what's going on, so we're just going to take a look into like what does it mean, what's happening, and sort of thing. And he looked into this thing where like he made his own opinion about it. Like I think that it's also probably not entirely possible that it's true. And then like when like a couple months later he made a like follow up with Dream about it. And
Yeah.
2 to 3 days ago, he posted a video which is pretty insane, which is about video games, video games have become like insanely collectible. Like the collectible video games industry has risen like insanely high. Like where video games are now being sold, like Super Mario, I think it was like Super Mario 64 sealed edition was sold for over $100,000. However,
Jesus.
2 years or like a couple years before that, like it was sold for $8,000 or something. However, the game that was sold for $8,000 and then the game that sold over $100,000 was the exact same game. So what was going
Wow.
on? Like again, like I'm probably gonna get a lot of figures wrong because like I watched the video like once or twice, but you should really check this out. Basically, what happened is like there is this grading company, this video games retro video games grading company that started up out of nowhere. That like all of a sudden like immediately got linked to a auction website. So an auction
Yeah.
website immediately said like we are going to be working with this brand new company that's never graded any video games, and we are going to like have them be the official judge for like all the video games that come into our auction. And then what they would do is they would like grade video games to be like fantastic, and they would like sell it on there, buy it, and then like they would increase the price. Then they would buy their own video games, like they put it on them themselves, like increase the price a lot, and then buy it back from themselves. So like the price would seem to be like climbing a lot, and they're really pushing hard for like breaking $1 million on like a video game thing to like create this big bubble. Like they're like pretty much just like this grading company and this auction website are just like colluding together to like try and really like push this idea that like you should go into video game collecting because it's going to be the next big boom, and they're trying to like make these things like insanely pricey so that people go into it. And like these people that like own these things already bought like a lot of video games beforehand, and they're just all going to sell it when like the prices are insanely high, which they already are. And like it's a really like I think it's an hour-long video. It's very fucking interesting just to see like how the hell this is done and like how the hell he figures it out, because like he just like goes into like he just looks into like what he can find, and it's like it's very well done. I want to see if I can like find the thing, and now I'll link it to you. Let me see, because like that I also have like a little description. Like again, like a lot of things I'm getting wrong because like I watched it like 2 days ago, I think. But it was right here. Let me see. So yeah, basically, bada bing, bada boom. Yeah. Anyway, like there's just a lot. Like, it's not really that's just something that's like really worth like going over right now. But like I'll get you the link. Can I copy the link? I don't know if I have the link copied. Let's see if I can like post it in here. Nope. Why the fuck would you? This is so weird. Share link. Okay. Okay, I'll just post it like this. I'll post it in chat. I'll also put it in the description. Check it out. But like that is a really interesting story about like what's going on like this entire like industry. Let me see. Yeah, Pixel's just talking about Swiftcoin. But anyway, like that was something which popped up. I don't even know how we got into this, but yeah, like that was something which is usually interesting. I would really recommend to people to watch that.
We got into this because we are talking about like an alternative method of payment for OnlyFans is cryptocurrency.
Yep. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. All right. Well, let's go into another alternative thing. If you don't like the hit game Among Us, maybe there's something new. Maybe Fortnite has stolen something yet again. Remember that time there was a game called PUBG and it was insanely popular? Fortnite came along and took it. Remember all these popular dances that people did, you know, that these dances are very iconic, and then like Fortnite just took them and never paid them royalties because fuck it. What is copyright on a dance? You can't copyright a dance, can you? Oh no, we don't know. It's just emotes. We're selling them in our store for money. And now the hit game Among Us. I think they're kind of a year too late, but still, you know, what can we do? You know what? Let's just put it in Fortnite. Let's just make Fortnite Among Us, and they're making Fortnite Imposters, which honestly like is the craziest thing that I have seen. Like I can't really show it because like we have a setup which like actually allows us to use Discord, but basically just like imagine Among Us, but then like in Fortnite, and it's like, why the hell would you do this? Like the game like isn't really even as relevant as it was like last year, but still, it's like it's so crazy insane. Do you know more about this, Drew? What's going on?
Yeah, so I caught this earlier today. So there's been a couple of things that Fortnite have gotten seriously wrong recently. One of which is the Martin Luther King Jr. Situation, and then the other one is, oh god, what was it? This, yeah. So basically, Fortnite have decided that, hey, do you know what was this huge boom recently? Oh, Among Us. So why don't we just slap Among Us into Fortnite? You know, that's sure big money maker.
Mm-hmm.
And the Fallout, sorry, not Fallout, the Among Us developers have turned around and said, like, I mean, could you at least give us an homage? Apparently, they were trying to have a collaboration with Fortnite or with
Mm-hmm.
Epic Games, and at one point in time, Epic just slammed the door and stopped talking to them entirely. Um, and if you look at the everything, like the environment that has been created for the Fortnite Imposters, it's like 99% the same
Mm-hmm.
as the ship map for Among Us. And it's like, what the fuck? Seriously? Obviously, both platforms are free. Well, I mean, on mobile,
Mm-hmm.
Among Us is free. But it's just like, Jesus fucking. And Epic have had this really slapdash approach to a lot of things recently. Like AAA games, they're allowed to release their game on multiple platforms, whereas indie developers like the people that made Among Us, if they want to release on Epic, they have to tie into an exclusivity
Mm-hmm.
deal. You know, they won't touch an indie developer that won't exclusively sign up with Epic and the Epic Game Store, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Piss off, right?
Yeah, I mean, like Epic is such a weird thing because honestly, like they started out rather small in a sense. Like they did have the Unreal Engine, but like when Fortnite launched, like I remember when it came out, like it wasn't really like the most insane game because like the Battle Royale thing wasn't in there. And I remember before that they had something called Paragon, which I know like one of the people that I met for Warframe was like really into that, and like they also had like they would invite these creators like not the biggest creator, they would just invite them to dev streams, and it was kind of like a similar feel as I had with Warframe when it came to that other game. It's like yeah, you know these that seems to be rather right, and then they pretty much like took this battle royale thing, which really like broke loose with PUBG, and they just took it and like ran away with it. And ever since then, like it's been really weird. Like on the one hand, Epic is trying to like push forward this narrative that like, oh, we're here for the people, and we're here to like encourage like the cut needs to be lower on Steam, and the cut needs to be lower on what is it, on like mobile platforms, and like yeah, like they're actually like doing that in the sense of like they have created a game store on like PC where you know the cut that they take from sales from developers is lower than with Steam, and they're pushing for that as a big weight against Apple and Google, and that's pretty good as well. And you know, one thing that I will commend them for is that they have been giving out free games every single week ever since like they started out their Epic Game Store, and I think that that is something where like I look at that, I'm like, wow, you know, that is insane. That is crazy. Because, you know, even if that to you may not mean something because, oh, yeah, I have my own big games library. Like, I remember when I was like a 12, 10-year-old little kid, I had no money. And I was like, if I could just like every week, just like, you know, open up my Epic Game Store, get a free game. Like, there are good free games. I got like GTA 5, I get like Watch Dogs, like Assassin's Creed, like so many free games you got from there. It's insane. But at the same
But
time, you gotta be wondering if this shit is free, how are we paying for this? Like, what is the cost? Like, you can't just be doing this out of the benefit of your own heart. And then you just see that like they're just doing this shit where they're like forcing people's hands, just like outright straight up stealing things from like other people because like oh it's popular we can throw it in Fortnite and you know it will just be cool and what you're gonna do.
the the largest issue I have with how Epic are handling it. They used to be a games developer, and that was it,
Mm-hmm.
right? They used to make Unreal, Unreal Tournament. They made Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm was an amazing game, but it really sort of like slid under the radar. But then all of a sudden, like, they were doing such great success with the Unreal Engine, they decided, oh, let's start. Actually, no, I wanna take that back a bit. They made such massive success with the battle royale of Fortnite. They decided to milk the ever living fuck out of it,
Hmm.
right? And in doing so, they have just spoiled what good name they had,
Oh yeah.
you know. And it's just like, what the fuck, even.
Well, I mean, they're fully embracing that. And it's like one thing that I do think is interesting. Then is like if you look at something like Minecraft, which also massively blew up. I do really commend that in a sense, even though it's been bought by Microsoft and like they own it now. That
That
like
was years.
yeah, like years back, but like it still feels like a game that like it feels like a good game sort of thing. It feels like a game where like they're adding things to the game, which like they're adding new things to it. It's still the same price basically. Like you buy it and then they'll add you free updates, and it's just fun. Whereas like Fortnite, I remember like I got like founders access for it, and I played like that Save the World thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of fun. I played a little bit of like the Battle Royale when like that was popping off, and like people were like, oh, you want to play it? Oh, sure. But like it just, I don't know. It just doesn't feels like something I want to be associated with because it just like there's so many things. Like I remember there was like this YouTuber Jax Films, who like did in one of his videos that like this thing where he did like a deep dab is like in some sort of like a like comedy skit or something. Like he would like dab all the way to the ground or something, and then like Fortnite literally just took that and like made that into like a legit emote, like the deep dab emote, and it's like literally frame by frame the same thing. And they never contacted him. They never like said like, hey, can we? No, it's just like they just steal it, and like they've done that with so many of their emotes, or they just like go to like, oh, hey, this is from something that a dance that's like kind of popular from like this TV show or like from this movie. Let's just take it. Let's just use it. It's like that's the same thing now. It's like, why the fuck can't you just have the human decency to just be like, hey, that's fun. Let's just, organize something with these people and be like, hey, maybe you get a little percentage of like the sales of it, or maybe you like, we promote it together or something. That'd be kind of cool. But no, it's just like, fuck it, we just steal it. And like I really don't like it. It feels shady, and that's also the same thing when it comes to the way that they deal their business. Even if they give out free games, like pretty much that they give out free games like every single week without any cost to it. But at the same time, they don't have basic features like a shopping cart and shit in their store. It's like it doesn't feel like they're genuine. It doesn't feel like
No,
they're genuine to me.
no, I completely agree. It feels like how little effort can we put into this to make a quick buck, to screw over the little man and get away with it. That's honestly what it feels like. And I I'm not okay with it. I really am not. I'm like, this is why I barely turn on the Epic Games launcher. Like, I was playing quite a bit of Dauntless for a while,
Mm-hmm.
but then I put that down because it felt like the progression to the game was in Warframe, in Diablo 3, in Monster Hunter World, the progression cycle is really simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's um pick up item off floor, keep using item until pick up new item off floor, right? Or craft new item, keep using item until craft new item, right? That's certainly Warframe, Dauntless, and Monster Hunter World. But with Monster Hunter World, it's like you always have to reset to zero. There's no sense of progression. You're not feeling like you're going anywhere because you are constantly resetting to zero. And that is not a feeling I like, right?
Mm-hmm.
You
No.
could argue that in Monster Hunter, well, when you're getting new gear, you're just fighting harder stuff. And I'm like, yes, but what I gain from putting into that gear is still there. as opposed to I have to hit the sodding reset button to
Mm-hmm.
get a magical so but again, that itself feels like the sort of attitude that exists in the Epic Game Store's general policy. It's like, oh yeah, no, we just want to keep you getting to buy stuff, just keep buying stuff. Like, the holiday sales. I mean, fuck, Control was supposed to be an exclusive on the Epic Game Store until it just suddenly appeared on name of the thing.
Steam.
Yeah, on Steam. It's just like, oh look, Control's on Steam now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Control on Steam was getting an update, but Control on
Epic wasn't.
yeah, or something like that. Or no, that wasn't it. It was sorry, that was actually a Control controversy. There was like an update. You could get like a super Control on both platforms, but if you already owned Control on Epic, you couldn't upgrade. You'd have to buy the game again.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I mean, like the thing you're talking about also like kind of leads me to. I'm starting to hate the retention goal of games. Like, I remember when I was young and I discovered Warframe and games like that, where it's like, fuck, this is free to play. I don't have money, but like I can play this. Fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
But now I'm really starting to dislike games that don't have as their primary goal to entertain me, but rather have as their primary goal to like keep me around as a number so that, the game will have high numbers, so hopefully whales will spend. And I think that's just like a really bad attitude. Like you have it in Apex, for example, where like they'll have like skill-based matchmaking, which like the idea is like you're never in the same lobby ever, like after a match. So like every single time it's a new lobby, but you don't know what the level is because there's like tiers, like basically like they decide your level like on an algorithm based on like your score and like how good you play and like all that sort of stuff, and then they put you in a lobby like based on like with people around the same skill. That's what they say, but like most likely like a lot of times you'll find like you have like 10 matches that like go bad, and then they throw you one which is like easy, and it just feels like you're playing a slot machine in a sense where it's like it's like crafted to like make you continue to play. It's like, oh, I gotta win, so I will continue to go on. Ooh, oh man, it's so tough. Oh yeah, here you go again. It's like it's just not nice. And like it really makes me miss the days where it was like you would play, for instance, like a Call of Duty game where it's like you would stick with the same lobby. It's like it's just people. I just want to play with people,
Yeah.
and not have this thing where I have the feeling like I'm the product. And I feel like that's a lot of things like I've really started to feel that over the last few years when it comes with like these free service games where it's like, am I like, is this really made for me to enjoy, or is this made so that I play longer and like who cares if you're frustrated about this because we know you'll play anyways.
See, like in the case of games like Warframe, I think it's really advantageous, right? I'm not a huge fan of. Actually, I remember specifically, right? Sorry, not a mobile. Fuck, a Switch game, Nintendo Switch game that I actually really like. It was one of the games like Astral Chain, right? Really, really good game. I barely got the time to play Astral Chain without the odd periodic phone call of, "Hey, how's it going?" And that's one thing I absolutely love about Warframe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That mentality is so heavily instilled in our community culture of never ever unplugging that when you have a game like Warframe where it's very quick missions, people feel the gratification of I'm able to just do it and not be interrupted, right? I'm able to do it 4 times and not be able to be interrupted. Astral Chain, I get through like an hour, maybe an hour and a half before I'd get a sodding phone call that was lasted 30 minutes long. I'm like, I just want to play my game. I just want to play my game. Why can't I play my game? Why won't you let me play my game? And I feel that is an incentive. That is a mentality. That is I want to say a framework that companies like Activision, like Epic, like EA are heavily exploiting, right? They're exploiting this nature of only wanting 10-minute games because, we are living in that world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, it is a point of, I want to say ingress. It's a point of entry where they can exploit the situation even worse, right? I mean, how many people got into Fortnite because Rick and Morty were in it,
Well, I
right?
sure did.
Yeah, I mean, like, how many
But
people got
sure.
into? But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
like,
mean,
they put the X-Men in it. They
they
put,
put everything in it. But like
yeah,
it's also like, I mean, it's free, and like that is something where like I think there's a couple of things. Like, first of all, it's free, and it's really hard to argue with a free game. And secondly, it's like there are so many like things at play that you don't know about. But like if you think about them, like it really irks me. Where it's like back when you played a game, like let's say, because like a lot of these free to play games are like, what is it, PvP games. So like
yeah,
that's kind of what I compared them to. So like back in the day with like Modern Warfare 2, for instance, with Call of Duty, like the only thing that it will do is just like add you to a lobby. Like, see, is there a lobby free? Yes, there's a lobby free. Add you to the lobby. You just sit in there for as long as you like.
yeah,
What they do now, or what they can do now, is because like basically like the system is that much more developed. Is like, okay, hey, we can look at like the history of like what are your stats, how long have you played, like what have your recent games been, what's your level, like how long have you been playing already. And like basically what you can do, and like this is rather simple to do, is like you can like figure out like you can do a psychological study and be like, okay, very much gambling studies where it's like, okay, so like how many tries, like what is people's behavior when they win or when they almost win or when they lose. Because I
yeah.
think this is just purely just like speculation. I have no things to back this up or whatever, but I would think that if people win like 2 or 3 times in a row, they're gonna like kind of quit, because it's kind of like, a lot of times like if people hit it big like very fast, like, okay, cool, that was fun, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. It's like that. But like that one more game mentality like that people have is like, oh, I want to have one good game, and like they end up playing the entire night. Like that's something which I think is a very real thing, where it's like, if people just like continue to lose, they'll continue to go on. But like you will never continue to play if you constantly like die, it constantly fails very like without any hope. So like, what if people have like 3 games where it's like really bad, and then the fourth game they were supposed to like give up, but then we give them one where it's like, against a little bit easier players, so like they'll have to this hope, like, oh yeah, I can actually do this. And like, we'll just have this algorithm that like gives you challenges based on like what has like through our psychological studies been shown to like keep people playing for as long as possible. Like that is something which I very much believe is going on. And the reason why I believe this is because, like, first of all, like, it's something which is very easy to implement, and like, why wouldn't they? Because it's a free to play game that is like you are a product in a sense, so like they would like to keep you around. But secondly, it's also because there is this thing which is like skill-based matchmaking. They say like you are algorithmically decided as to like what lobby you go into, like what kind of ranked lobby you go into. But you don't know the rank. You don't know what kind of level people you're playing against. They don't tell you. And like that is something where it's like, hey, if you were just being honest about this, like for instance, like yesterday I was playing with like a couple of friends, and we were playing on stream, and like basically like when I play by myself, it's like it's easy, and then like when I play with them, it's like it's super hard. And it's like there is no indication about it where it's like, oh, now you're playing in like a class B thing or a class D. They don't show it. So like I really think that these games are like the same thing what you see with like battle passes and stuff. Is like, well, like what if we like show it so often? Like how often do we have to show the reward? How like quickly do you have to rank up, sort of thing? And that is something where it's like, I don't like walking around the street and like being manipulated by advertisements. I don't like watching YouTube and like having personalized advertisements. I don't need my games to be like psychological warfare throwing on me to like keep me playing for as long as possible and push me towards spending money on your game. Like it just, I don't like it.
No, I completely agree with you, and I do feel that a lot more of the AAA titles are leaning towards that. Look at bloody Overwatch,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, if Overwatch 2 is any success, that's a fucking miracle.
Oh
That's
yeah.
like, fucking,
Even
you
especially in
know,
this situation. Oh my god.
yeah, it's like, complete another train wreck. But in a lot of scenarios, companies like, I mean, you go to things like football games, baseball games, whatever. They got fucking adverts everywhere. they plaster adverts like really fucking in your face, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's gotten to that point with video games now. You know, you watch oh god, what was it? The 2K games
Yeah.
UFC? You know, and they actually played a fucking advert.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you
In the
know.
game. Yep.
And the thing is, like, when they like, all right, okay, we've got all the reviews in, right? Now turn this feature on. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, microtransactions weren't in Red Dead Redemption 2 until
After
the
the
first
review cycle.
update. Yeah, and it's
Yep.
like, what the shit? This is just utter garbage.
Speaking of the Blizzard stuff, have you heard that California has expanded their lawsuit because allegedly Blizzard has been shredding evidence?
Yeah, yeah, they've been destroying evidence,
How
and
great.
oh my god, seriously, Blizzard is so fucked. Um, and the worst thing is that the CEOs they're not, their heads aren't rolling. Like, have you seen how originally we had Mike Morhaime, who was the CEO of Blizzard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we had Jay Allenbrack, who was the president of Blizzard, and now we have the two co-leaders of Blizzard. Like, oh, why is their job title getting lower and lower and lower? You know,
I'm just
soon it'll be run by the
yeah.
janitor of Blizzard.
Yeah. I'm curious as to like how that will unfold because like we knew Blizzard has been like kind of rotten for like a long time, but not to like this degree. Like that is what kind of
Yeah.
surprising. And I'm really curious as to like how like what kind of the consequences will be because like a lot of times it just feels like these companies just get away with like shedding all over like everything. And I'm curious to see like how this goes, but like lawsuits take a long time. Speaking of really shitty companies, did we talk last time or before? Did I ever speak with you about Roblox?
Maybe.
So like basically like this is something that I watched like a long time ago, but basically like Roblox, I didn't know it was a big thing. But apparently it's a really big game. Like it went public as well, and
Yep.
like it made $60
Yep.
million or something. But basically,
Yep.
what it is, it's like it's a game that like allows you to kind of like Minecraft create servers, but it's more like create
Yep.
your own game
Yep.
engine.
Yep.
And like what it does is like it allows like people to create games and then like other people to like go onto the games that have been created and spend Robux on that thing, which is like the virtual currency. And so basically like in order to like buy certain things or like run games, like you need to buy in, and like I think um 1,000 Robux or something is like $100 or something to buy.
Thank God.
And then like this is the weird thing. It's like a lot of people that create these servers, that run these servers, are children, are young little children that
Yeah.
play the game and like start to do it. And like basically what happens like if people buy in Robux, they can only spend Robux on your server. So you don't actually get real money, you get Robux. However, for every transaction, you Roblox takes a 10% cut. Every transaction on the platform, Roblox takes a 10% cut of like the Robux. So 10% of your Robux virtual currency get taken away by Roblox. However, that's the first thing. The first, so like you create something like Roblox basically like takes 10% from like everything that you get on your thing, which is like okay, you know that's a cut that they take because they supply the thing. However, if you then want to convert your Roblox into real money again, 1,000 Roblox is about $100, but you can only, but if you want to convert it back, you only get $10. And you can only convert it back to real money if you have over 1,000 real dollars that you'll get back. So you're gonna have to have like a lot, like your game is gonna has to be insanely successful before you can actually get paid. And because of that, they have this thing because this app store is so big that they say invest your Robux back into like advertising on our app store because then your game will get seen and then you'll get like more paid and you can get past the payment threshold to actually get paid, which is never going to happen because there's so many fucking games on there. So basically this Roblox thing is at like the easiest estimate taking between 75 to 90% of the revenue of these kids that are developing games.
Hold on, hold on. So you have to have $1,000 worth of Robux.
Yeah, but if you buy Robux, like if you buy it, you need to spend more. But if you want to convert it back to the dollar, you get less.
So let me confirm this. So $100 sorry, I'm trying to get this through my head. So in order to actually have $100, so you get 10%, right? So in order to get 1,000,
There's like
you have to have 10,000 Robux.
I put a video in I put a video in the chat. I really recommend you watch it because like this is something I watched this a long time ago. This came out August 19th, and what is it? Like villagers say $100 of Robux is 10k Robux, not 1k. I mean, like I don't know the exact figures, but I do know that it's roughly like this, where it's like you pay a lot more to buy it than that you get back if you convert it back, and you can only convert it back if you've made if you can convert it back to like $1,000. So basically, like what this thing does, it encourages the continuous flow of like this virtual currency like within the game, where every single time a transaction happens, like they take 10% of it. So basically, like they have like all these children like working to be a game developer, but they never get paid.
I'm sorry, that 10% cut thing is the most bullshit thing ever. Right? I assume that there's a minimum expense for anything then in order to guarantee a cut. So
but it's a virtual currency. It's their virtual.
No. But my point is that if you say like, well, everything's $1, so like 1 Robux, right? That you can't take 10% off of it, or you would have to take 10% off of the earnings, so you have a total earning. It's fucking stupid. I'm sorry, that is just such like, and people fucking wanted tax on bloody platinum in Warframe. I'm like, fuck off.
Yeah,
that's the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Fucking Christ. Jeez, my baby cousin was really into Roblox a couple of years ago. I hope she's fucking given up on it now. Fuck.
So basically, yeah, like I mean, you gotta watch the video. Like I've linked it in chat. Basically, like it shows you can only withdraw like no. Okay, so this was the thing. 100,000 Robux. So like $100 of Robux. As Villager says, is for 10k. So $100 goes to 10k currency.
Yeah.
However, for 100k currency, so 10 times that amount, you only get $350 if you transfer it back.
So fucking Christ. They take 65% of the revenue.
And that is without without like within the platform like taking cuts as well.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
The estimates are the most conservative estimates are that they take 75.5% of the revenue. But that's conservative because it doesn't account for people that reinvested back into the platform.
But like that is just, oh god, what was it? That's just a fucking pyramid scheme on or Ponzi scheme on, but for fucking kids.
Yeah. Kids that want to like program.
It's the fucking underage sweatshop. Jesus Christ.
So if you thought Fortnite and Epic was bad, wait until you hear it about Roblox.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god. I really hope that my my aunt and uncle are well aware of this, because
share this video. It's a 22-minute video. How investigation how Roblox is exploiting young game developers. It was posted August 19th by People Make Games. I've posted the link in chat. Recommend to watch it because it was really fucking interesting. I did not know I didn't know Roblox was still relevant, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I see this, I'm like, no, my mind is blown.
Wow, absolutely insane.
So yeah.
Jeez, that's a bombshell and a half. I can tell you that much.
You know what? Let's end on the bombshell then. I mean, like, we can't top that. Yeah. So thank you guys all so much for watching this full episode of the FrameCast. We did it! Woo!
Yeah.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. If you guys want to check out Xenogalleon, go to youtube.com/Xenogalleon. Check out the Kampai Cast, which is a brand new anime podcast with yours truly right here, Xenogalleon, with MDR Laws and Nassiv. They're talking about anime. Third episode is coming up tomorrow, so be sure to check that out. It's on YouTube, Kampai Cast. If you look for it, I don't think you have a custom link yet, but just look up Kampai Cast, like Kampai. You'll find it.
Yeah, we actually do that at the end. We always go, "Goodbye." Like, hilariously, we should do it at the start, but we never do because we don't know when the first person started recording. So it's just like at the end, it's just "Goodbye." Oh yeah, we're doing that. Oh shit, goodbye. And we're like, what? I wasn't paying attention. Like, we have yet to get it perfectly.
It will maybe happen episode 50, 100, maybe a special.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway,
Cool.
Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to see the entire thing, it's going to be on youtube.com/postma games, or if you want to see it live, twitch.tv/Postma. We'll see you around for the next episode of the FrameCast next time, episode 77. We'll see when that comes, and hopefully it will be working smoothly as this one was. I'll see you guys around.
Bye.